Hi, this is Zoe Martel with an end of semester update on our class project that I took on. For our class project, I decided to tackle my performance anxiety around playing music. I had ridiculous performance anxiety, and I knew on a logical level that it was ridiculous, but on some emotional level, it was not ridiculous. And what it was very, very paralyzing to the point that I started having physical panic reactions when I even thought about recording myself. And not being one to shy away from a challenge, I decided to tackle that for my class project. Anyone who's stumbling into this was a class that I took as a part of a PhD program in Humanistic Psychology, not music, but my specialization in the course is creativity, innovation, and leadership, and this was one of those courses. So I decided I would tackle my performance anxiety and started filming myself. And it was unbelievably terrifying at first. I mean, absolutely terrifying. I did all the academic things, like did a literature review, looking into the literature, the psychological literature and creativity literature on performance anxiety related to music. What I found is it's incredibly common. Even professional musicians often suffer from it, and it normalized it for me. So slowly, I began filming myself. And the first 2 days that I filmed, I was trying to play the first piece I learned in full. Actually, I was trying to play it. And it took me 2 days, literally, of sitting in front of the camera, shaking, sweating, bright red, just exhausting my body to the point that I finally just was so tired, I no longer cared how I looked. And I was able to film at that point. This was a brutal approach. Don't get me wrong. I was working with my own psychoanalyst during this entire process, so I wouldn't recommend that just anybody do this. It is actually a pretty brutal thing to do to yourself. But I was frustrated. Long story very, very short, I started playing the classical guitar at age 56, which was about 2 years ago. Uh, didn't know how to read music on the fretboard. I read music, but I didn't know how to read it on the fretboard. I didn't even read tablature. I never studied the classical guitar at all. I knew some basic chords and progressions on a folk style guitar, but I wasn't a particularly skilled guitar player. And that was fine. I was starting from scratch. And so I really have no reason to think that I would be any good at doing this. Fast forward to today. I made this YouTube channel, by the way. I should I should point that out. Because I had made my mid-semester presentation on my iPhone. I'm new to iPhone, actually. I'm new to Apple entirely. But I had filmed it because it seemed like the easiest way to do a presentation and also be able to capture myself playing. Not a good recording setup for music, not at all. But that wasn't the point. I wasn't trying to get a good recording. I was just trying to get through the fear. And then I went to try to share the file with my cohort and found that the file was so large, and I have a Windows computer that I usually use, and my phone is Apple, and that was causing problems, and I didn't know how to share it, and it was due. So one of my classmates said, "Hey, why don't you make a YouTube channel and just set it to private, and then you can put the videos up there, and we can then have the link and we can see them." Fabulous. I did that. No idea how to use the YouTube app. I'm like, where do I find this thing? Did that, and that worked beautifully. And I kept the channel, and I didn't bother to set it to private because I didn't think anybody was going to click on something called first video for class, second video for class. I just didn't even cross my mind that anyone would watch that. And so yesterday I filmed myself playing several pieces that I've been working on. They're all pieces that I'm still in the progress of learning, and I filmed them and went to upload them to YouTube, and they uploaded as shorts. I don't know why. Maybe it's the length. Maybe I did something weird when I was uploading them. But in any event, uploaded them and then decided I would film this today. I woke up this morning to over 1,000 views on one of my little beginner classical guitar, old lady tries to learn something new shorts. um, much to my surprise, I was not mortified. I was shocked, to be sure. I was kind of amused, but I wasn't mortified. I didn't go running for the delete button. I didn't. I didn't care. And that was so beautiful. So I went in the course of one academic semester, 14 weeks at this point is how long that's been unfolding, from being so terrified that if I even had my iPhone in the same room, I would start having panic attacks. If I put it on a tripod, physiological, like, symptoms through the roof. Anyone who's had a panic attack knows just how this feels. To sitting here today thinking, I'm going to leave my channel up and I'm going to leave it on public. I'm okay with that. And honestly, I mean, I guess what YouTube does, and I'm not being a content creator, I'm really not familiar with how the algorithm works, but I guess what happens is that if you upload something as a short and you put some hashtags on there, it just sort of starts randomly sticking your video on people's feeds. I know I can get sucked into hours of watching random videos that show up on my feed, so I kind of understand that piece of it. And in any event, I'm going to leave them up, and I'm going to leave the channel, and I'm going to keep developing the channel, because this is a great exercise in learning how to play. When I watch myself play, I was able to see things that I can't see when I'm actually playing, or I don't notice when I'm playing. And I was, there were times first off, definitely needed a proper recording setup. I need proper both video, but particularly audio. And I actually have the tools for that. I just don't know how to use them yet because I'm tech phobic as well. And so I'm going to tackle that this summer. But even just watching myself on this iPhone setup, I was able to say things like, wow, my hand is really stiff there, or why on earth is my arm in that strange position, or why didn't I move my thumb when I moved my hand? What's it doing back over here? Or, wow, where's the melody? You're playing a lot of notes, maybe they're even the right notes, but there's a melody in there and I'm not hearing it. And where's the phrasing? Why does this just sound like a succession of notes? And I was able to address some of those things when I was practicing this morning before I filmed this. And I realized that, wow, this is going to be a really valuable tool for me. And if I gain some friends along the way, fantastic. If I gain a little community of people who can support each other around learning the classical guitar as an aging adult, fantastic. If people come out of the woodwork and start hating on me, well, I can mute it. At this point, it feels like there's nothing to lose. And I just cannot tell you how freeing this is to feel this way. I mean, I'm very comfortable speaking in public. As you can probably tell, I am already almost at our time limit, but that's because I did it for 20 years almost as a lecturer in psychology. I got up and spoke in public. I didn't have a lot of fear about that to begin with. And I rapidly learned that sometimes you're going to get it wrong. Sometimes you're going to make a fool out of yourself. And I stopped caring about that long ago. But something in me still was very afraid of making a mistake with music. Guess what? The learning process involves making mistakes. And I know this logically, and now I'm actually embodying that. So thank you for listening. I'm going to wrap it up because I'm already including some links I would love for you to listen to me playing, and I'm at time. So thank you all. This has been an amazing, amazing experience, and maybe I'll see you on my channel if you are interested in following this further. Thanks so much.